Imagine this. When you're entering a waiting room, let's say at a doctor or in an office, and there are already a few people sitting, what are you doing? You're looking around, checking the situation, and then you're sitting down. And because the situation feels a little bit embarrassing, you take out your cell phone and start to scroll. This slight embarrassment is what I want to talk about today. Because we all know it, we all feel it sometimes, and we all don't know anymore what to do in such situations. The point is, it's not something that's really bothering us, but it comes up as a low, restless discomfort. Just a feeling of unease that we don't know where it's coming from. The reaction to that became really automatic. And that's why you see everybody sitting in these waiting rooms with their cell phones. They're avoiding eye contact, not because of you or because they're unsocial, but because they want to avoid this feeling of embarrassment. But thank God we all have these nice technical devices in our pockets that help us to avoid the situation immediately. You're not alone with that. We all developed this pattern, and this reaction became really automatic for us. I noticed this a while ago in myself, and I thought, that cannot be the solution. This reaction is not the right answer to the situation. So a while ago, I decided to stop that, because I got really curious about what was actually underneath it. And in the beginning, this emptiness feels really strange. If you don't have anything anymore to check immediately or to do, just to sit there and wait. Well, I started to look at the other people, and it got even more interesting. Because I believe we're not doing that because we want to avoid contact with other people, but we want to avoid facing the emptiness. The truth is, the emptiness is still there. We didn't get rid of it. We just got very good at making sure we never have to feel it. Today we live in an entertainment society. That means we're not really hungry anymore. We have a lot of appetite, true, for food and snacks and content and scrolling and comfort. But we eliminated the hunger for something deeper, something that no one touches. And this is a result of having constant access to stimulation. We constantly need a trigger that keeps us busy. And so we never have to feel this real inner stillness anymore. We are not bored anymore. And that is the problem. But after a while, when you grow older, or when you're just getting tired of it, these distractions start losing their power. They don't satisfy you anymore. The drink in the evening that used to relax you, the Netflix series, or checking your Instagram feed. They don't satisfy a real need. And the hunger didn't disappear, we just numbed it. But hunger is an important feeling. But to feel it, we must go back to the times without distraction, without food. And this is easier than it sounds, because we are constantly seduced. And because our consumption never fills us, we think we always need more and more and more. By that, the emptiness gets just bigger. Today, overconsumption is one of the most effective avoidance strategies that we have ever developed. We're addicted to it. Every product, every platform, and every algorithm are designed to keep this cycle running. They're trying to suppress the emptiness, this uncomfortable feeling, but it doesn't go away. And over time it gets louder because it wants your attention back. That's why you have low energy or emotional numbness, or the quiet feeling that something essential is missing no matter what you achieve. That overconsumption is already the diagnosis. Midlife crisis is just a symptom. It's just your shadow finally breaking through years of accumulated noise. That's not a willpower problem. You're not consuming because you're weak. You're consuming because feeling what's underneath has always felt too expensive. These behaviors are deeply human. And after 25 years of personal development, I still feel them sometimes coming up. We all have this tendency to avoid something that's deeper. The solution is in how you react to it. When I notice in myself that I develop such a pattern, I start by removing things on purpose. Because removing things, removing comfort, is sometimes the easiest way to face your shadow. One of my ways to reach this state of emptiness is by extended fasting. That literally removes the border between my unconscious, between my shadow, and my conscious mind. In such a fasting phase, everything gets clearer. My dreams become more vivid. I notice much more details in my life, and I can more easily integrate my body into my thinking. But there's an important point to that. The removal of food didn't create any of these experiences. It just took away the stuff that I used to cover it, to hide it, and to suppress it. And by that, I allowed my feelings to surface. If you actively seek discomfort, that acts sometimes like a mirror. And the clearest mirror is the one you create by taking something away. So you actively have to create these situations of voluntary discomfort. And that's not about being hard to yourself. Only in such situations you allow your unconscious to come up. It doesn't have to be a 2-week fast. It can be an honest conversation with your partner you keep postponing, or a week without alcohol, or sitting and accepting a feeling instead of immediately explaining it away. Or, coming back to the example from the beginning, sitting in a waiting room without your cell phone. By that you remove the escape route, and what was waiting behind becomes visible. For all of us, the thing we're avoiding can be something different. And before we can integrate it, we need to recognize it. Therefore, I have one question for you. What are you not letting yourself feel right now? And what are you using to make sure you don't have to? Take some time to sit with this question. And remember, discomfort is not the enemy of growth. Quite the contrary, it's the only place the real conversation can happen. To make this process easier to achieve, you need a real good reason to do that. It's not enough to stick to the old personal development slogan, get out of your comfort zone. Why should you get out of it? It's comfortable there. That's why you created it in the first place. So the goal must be not to get out of something, but to get into something that helps you. And that's why usually all diets or social media detoxes, they fail. The goal should not be to become someone who consumes less. It is to become someone who no longer needs to consume in order to feel real. Your consumption is not part of your identity. You can be even more yourself if you don't consume. That's why I ask you, become hungry again. And you're not satisfying your hunger by giving it more and more and more. Staying hungry is the way back to yourself. And if you want to figure out what staying hungry really means, I'm documenting my next 12-day fast here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and follow my experience over the next 2 weeks. See you in the next one.